Bisshhh'ss, tis I, Lois, and today we are doing a extension layover 101 video. So I got these nail tips off of Amazon in this natural color and clear color, and what I'm doing is I am measuring them against my nails, and if they're slightly too big, I'm doing what I just showed you, and I'm like just kind of filing the sides just a little bit, not a lot. You want them to fit perfect sidewall to sidewall. If it's too small or you have a little bit of a gap, get the bigger size and file it down to the appropriate size that you need. That's what's going to work. And your fingers are not going to be the same size on both hands. Some will not. This finger is skinnier than this finger, so you will see that if I put it on that side wall, I have a little bit of a gap right there. So that size is not going to fit that pinky. So I had to go with a bigger size. So I have an 8 on my pinky, and I just had to file it down a little bit to get it to fit better. And I had to do that on one other finger too, but I do not remember which one. And so what I am doing here is I am roughening up my nail. I'm cleaning my cuticle area. First of all, this is a Kiara Sky tapered barrel bit, and I love this bit. And it's kind of like a sanding, it's going to replace your sanding band. It takes care of the cuticle area, and it like buffs the shine off of your nail. I have my drill at 400 RPM, and I am just lightly buffing my surface of my nail and going around my cuticle area, cleaning that up. I will be doing this again. You'll see me do it again, but really at this stage all you really needed to worry about was more of like the bottom half of your nail, where the tip is going to go, because you want the glue to stick really good and you want it to be not shiny. So I'm using a nail dehydrator. I use the Kiara Sky Dip dehydrator, which is just still a dehydrator, or the iGel Beauty pH Bond, which is also a dehydrator. Doesn't matter. I use whichever one is closest to me, honestly. I am just going to put that on all of my fingernails, and this is going to help even after buffing that shine off to make sure all the shine and oils are gone. I am using my Zebra Glitter Nails Dip Base, the dainty one, as my nail glue. I personally use the dip base as nail glue, and I have had no problems with it. And just for extra insurance, it's not really necessary, but I do go ahead and put the activator on it just so it hardens faster. And it also will help the sides. The activator will help those corners up at the top just kind of melt down to your nail better, because those edges can stick up sometimes. And so see, I like let go and it kind of started to pop back up, so I just hold it back down for a few more seconds until it wants to stay. And now I'm holding it down at those corners, trying to pull my skin away. I am only going to show you these two nails for the tips. I did the exact same thing on all of my fingers. Just, yep, see, and you'll know that it kind of melts the tip to the nail a little bit, because it will be kind of tacky when you go to pull your fingers away from the tip after pressing it down. Now, this I got off of Amazon as well. It's just a nail cutter, and I'm just cutting these bad boys right on down, because I cannot deal with them too super long. And actually, when I end this video, the picture that you'll see at the end will still be a little bit shorter than what I ended the video on because they were still too long and I had to go back and file them down later on that night. So yeah, I am just unsticking my skin from my thumb, and I am going in right now and I'm just filing the sidewalls to get them to lay smooth and nice and flat. And then I am going to, this is the coarse side of my file, and I honestly couldn't even tell you where I got this file from. It may have been Sally's, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just doing the sidewalls, finger to finger, doing the sidewalls, just making those a little bit smoother. Right where the tip and my nail meet, in that area, that's where I'm doing my filing right now. And then this is where we make this nail tip blend with our fingers. So I am only focusing on the nail tip at right now at this stage. My file, I think at one point I try and show you guys an angle that my file, though it looks like it's touching my nail, it isn't. And I'm just trying to flatten that out as best as I can. And some nails are easy. You'll see that it's like, oh, that one got smooth really fast, really easy, and other ones don't want to. That happens. If you're lucky and have an easy time doing this, well, kudos to you. Because every nail is not like that for me. Some go down super smooth, some do not. So, yeah. And this was where I was saying where you could also do your cuticle cleanup too, is when you're doing this little process right here. And so see, I'm just feeling to see how big of a gap or like a dip that is between the tip and my nail. I'm just trying to flatten that out as best as I can. It's not going to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to be covering it up with builder gel anyways here in a few, but this is how I do that. And then I'm also going to show you guys how I do it with just a file. So if you don't have an e-file, this is how you would do it with your hand file. Pretty much the same thing, but for me, since I'm working on my right hand and having to use my left hand, I hold my file steady and do most of the movement with my right hand, rocking my hand back and forth. And so I just, same thing, focus it on the tip, not on my nail, because you're wanting to file the tip down to make it flush with your fingernail. And so I'm just looking and seeing what is sticking up and where, and just trying to file that down. And doing the sides again, making sure everything is just as smooth as possible as it can be. Yeah. With your right hand, it's going to be, when you're hand filing anyways, it's going to be easier. Well, okay, when you're working on your dominant hand, it's going to be easier if you hold your hand file still and then go in with your dominant hand making the motions that you need it to. I'm going to clean my nails with alcohol. Now this is my hack that I do. I don't like my nails squared or super straight or anything. I like a more tapered square to a coffin. So I am just on here, and see, I'm cutting them short here too, and then they're going to get even shorter than this because I left them too long. I am just using straight edge toenail clippers, and I'm just slightly cutting off the corners of my nail so that way I don't have to file as much when I go to file the sides to taper them in. And I'm also lining my cuticles up together. That way I can see what length I have on my nails to match up the length. Yep, and that's it. And again on, I'm going to do it again. But I use these also to cut these sides so that way I don't have to file as much to get that tapered square. I will just use the clippers to cut off the corners of the nail and work with that. Now, my thumbs I always do shorter. It's like the shortest fingernail that I'll have because I have a son who is still in a car seat, so mama has to be able to get my baby out. Can't leave him in there, and it's just easier with shorter thumbnails. Because I have had one break. Okay, I can't say that it broke. I had a peely pop off, but it was still irritating. And anywho, I am just going in and perfecting the shape that I want, squaring off my tip, and you'll see I hold my thumb like this because I want to see it from every angle to see if one side is still slightly longer than the other, what I need to file, because if you look at it one way, it might look straight and even, but if you look at it a different way, it could be lopsided or something. And so that's why I look at it from this angle, all the angles. And I'm going to do it with the rest of my fingers too. I'll look at them away from my face and then bring them to my face so that I can look and see. I'm switching hand positions. Wow. Just trying to make sure everything gets filed and is even the way it needs to be. And I did a little bit of checking there, and my fingernail was still a little too long, so I just went ahead and cut some more off to fix it. I could have filed it all the way down, but that would have taken more time. We're all about saving time because this mama is on a run all the time with my toddler. So if you're a mama, you know we've got to save the time. So I am again filing straight across on my free edge and tapering it on the sides. I do file up and down on the free edge. That will help get any like length on the corners that might still be there. See, this is what I mean. I cut my corners off, and you don't want to cut it too far up because that will lead to other issues. Make sure it's away from your nail bed when you cut. And then I scrubbied with alcohol again. I am going to dehydrate again. I am going to be using nail primer. Now this video is pretty sped up, and it's not the whole process. It's like every step, but just like a few fingers of every step, just because I wanted to get every step in so you guys could see, but it would have been way too long if I had left beginning to end of the whole process on. So this is my nail primer. It's ASP from Sally's. It does have acid and I think HEMA in it, but I still had it and I'm not allergic to it, and I'm just trying to use it up before I buy a new one that is acid free and HEMA free. But this is what I have now, and this is what I'm working with. And then I am now applying my pink lace builder gel from Manny Boss. And for my first layer, what I really like to do is almost wipe all the product off of my brush and apply it like nail polish. Not like a builder gel in the bottle, but just like nail polish. Just sweep it across the nail in a thin layer first, and then I build up my coverage from there. For me, I have found that this just works better and is easier to build up and manipulate for me. So this is just the way I do. See, that was way too much. I wiped almost all of that off. I'm going to go in and paint like nail polish. And then I'm going to put the semi-light for 90 seconds. And then we go on for another coat. This one will be a little bit thicker, and what I'm going to do is focus this mainly on the middle part of my nail. I'm going to stay away from the, like, directly at the sidewalls for now. We're just going to focus that right on the center. I'm going to let it level out for a second. And now I am taking this little liner brush, and this is what I'm going to use to spread that product from the center of my nail to the cuticle area. So that way I get a smoother application and get rid of that like ledge that can sometimes happen. So I seen Made by Kit do this. That's her Instagram. So Kit is her name. Made by Kit is her Instagram. I seen her do this in a video that she had posted in a reel on Instagram, and I thought it was genius, and it is. It works so good, and it's so easy, so much easier to keep your sidewalls clean too, to just focus it mainly in the middle of your nail, and then use that thin brush to pull it out and fill in around your cuticle and sidewalls. And it is just, it helps smooth any ledges or anything that will, because sometimes that can happen, just product doesn't always settle where it needs to or whatever. So this was just really, really nice. Works great. I did another 90-second cure. And what I am doing now, I only did 2 layers. What I am doing now is top coating with my 2-in-1 gel base and top coat from Manny Boss. And then I will be filing and buffing some more just to get this shape of the builder gel the way that I want it to be. And I'm going to be curing this again for 90 seconds. That's just the time that I have my lamp set for, so that's just what I use it at for everything, is the 90 seconds. Because I'm also a person that is afraid that something is not going to cure all the way properly. So, yes, I always do 90 seconds. Cleaning around my sidewalls to make sure I don't have any gel product on my nail. Cured it for 90 seconds, and now we're just reshaping the free edge. And I am also, so I'm going to show you this again with my file, and then with how I would do this with my e-file. But the shaping of the free edge I always do with my hand file. This is how I would do the whole surface with my hand file. I'm going to be cleaning around the sidewalls and the cuticle with this. This is how I would do it if I had nothing else but my hand file. I would just go around keeping my file mostly straight but at a little bit of an angle for my sidewalls, and then at like a 45-degree angle for my cuticle to get that nice arch for the apex. And then I do like to go straight, yes, like that. You're not going to be filing the top part of your nail by your cuticle. It's going to be touching your knuckle and then filing downwards to thin out your free edge so that we get that nice sharp shape. And then I will go from the apex or middle of the nail down to the sidewall at kind of like, you want to file with the curve. That way it'll give you a nice little rounded shape on the top from going from the middle to the sidewall. And again, I am showing you that I'm not filing the top, it just the way I'm holding it. So see, this is what I'm saying. From the center to the sidewall, I'm just gonna kind of go with the curve of the nail and follow that bend to get that shape there, because that way your nail won't be super flat. You don't want it to be flat. You want it, well, I don't know, maybe you do want it to be flat, but I don't like my apex area to be flat. I like my free edge to be flat because that helps create the crisp, sharp, square shape that I like. So that is how I do it with a hand file. And I am one of those people that I like the whole surface to be filed, even if it doesn't need it, just because I don't like the uneven texture. And then I'm going to buff my nail. I also like to buff the free edge of my nail because I do not like super duper sharp corners or edges, just because of my toddler running around and sometimes having to like grab him from doing something, or even putting his clothes on sometimes. I've noticed that if I don't buff my free edge, it does scratch him. So I try to buff my free edge to avoid hurting my son and my husband too. But anywho, this is how I would do this with an e-file. I will just gently go around my cuticle area first, and my e-file is at a speed of 5 to 6 now. Now that we're on builder gel and not our natural nail, I do up my RPM, and so I will do my cuticle sidewalls first and then go up and down the surface of the nail and really focus on the free edge again of the nail to try and make sure that I can just kind of thin that out and get rid of any like weird lumpiness there too, because I can tell you that I could tell a little bit of a dip in my nails, some of them there in the middle. Now that does, for me, it goes away when I add dip, but if you're someone who doesn't do dip all the time or have dip on all the time, and you just like to have an overlay for your, like, and you leave your overlay, just your overlay for a while, you could go back and just add some more builder gel right there in the middle and cure it and then file it out like that. But I did not do that when I noticed this. I just left it alone because I was going to dip right over it. And even with my e-file, I do still have to go back with my hand file and really work on that free edge. So with your hand file, all you need is your hand file. With your e-file, you're still going to need a hand file for the free edge. It's just really difficult to try and get the exact shape you want trying to work with an e-file. It can be done, but it's just more complex than it should be. And then again, I am buffing that surface out, getting it nice and smooth, and then cleaning my nails with alcohol once I have them all filed and buffed, getting all that debris off, brushing it away. And then we are going to top coat one more time, and that will be our final top coat. Now, I usually do not top coat again. Instead of this step right here, I would just go in with peel base and then go right into dipping. But for the sake of the video, I figured I would apply top coat too. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to apply top coat And then you can still go in with Pill Base over your top coat. Pill Base is going to stick better and last longer on matte nails. So you could still top coat and then buff the matte. And go in with top coat, or skip the top coat and just go in with Pill Base. It will not last as long on a shiny surface, so just keep that in mind. It can still last long, but it just won't last as long as it would if it wasn't shiny. So, and then I'm going to cure this for 90 seconds again, and that is my start to finish tip application plus builder gel process. And this is what my nails look like, and then I'm going to cut or file them even shorter, and that's what they'll look like. So I hope you like this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, bitches.